As we type this, Subaru is chasing its 82nd consecutive month of year-over-year sales growth. This comes as no surprise to those of us who live and work in Car and Driver's hometown of Ann Arbor, Michigan, where it seems that every other car is an Outback. But it perhaps serves as an explanation for why the new 2019 Subaru Forester looks so much like the one it replaces, despite riding on a new platform, wearing new sheet metal, and playing host to some segment-first technology. But while there's plenty of continuity in the 2019 Forester, we're also detecting some drift. A brand name that once conjured images of rally racing is now more synonymous with trips to the grocery store, and with this new generation the Forester has lost both its manual transmission and its available turbocharged engine, with no signs that either will make a return. Instead, Subaru is hyper-focused on safety and practicality. Thus it was with a twinge of sadness at the passing of one of the last manual transmission SUVs that we began our drive of the Forester, now powered exclusively by a 182 HP 2.5-liter flat-4 mated to a continuously variable automatic transmission, CVT. But that sadness didn't last long, because Subaru has done a commendable job bringing new technology and improved driving dynamics to the Forester. Much of that dynamic improvement can be attributed to the Forester riding on Subaru's new global platform, which also underpins the Impreza. The new platform is much more rigid than the previous one, and it helps the Forester feel solid and composed over bumps and through corners. Subaru also claims that the new platform has made the Forester quieter. There were no rattles over rough roads or rumblings from the engine compartment during our drive, but wind and tire noise still penetrate the cabin at higher speeds. The engineers also have worked to shrink the time between steering inputs and the car's response, so the Forester's steering feels quick and direct, although it is almost totally lacking in feedback. The Forester's CVT isn't as droning as the worst examples of its kind, and it often emulates a 7-speed automatic with stepped gear ratios. The transmission effectively keeps the Forester in its torque band, and good initial throttle response means that you might be all the way to the end of the highway on-ramp before you realize the Forester doesn't have much in the way of raw power. That lack of motivation will have enthusiasts calling for a brawnier engine, but Subaru says it will wait for feedback from actual customers, not armchair critics, before it decides to alter the Forester's powertrain lineup. Subaru seems to be figuring that most shoppers in this segment are more interested in what's inside the cabin than what's under the hood. To that end, rear seat legroom is increased by 1.4 inches compared to the previous model. The rear door opening is wider, for better ingress and egress, and the cargo opening is 5.3 inches wider, making it easier to transport big loads. The seats have been redesigned to more evenly distribute pressure. The interior materials aren't quite as sumptuous as those in the Mazda CX-5, but the cabin feels spacious, comfortable, and well suited to long drives.